is a healthy osmosis. You know, one thing which I noticed soon after coming to this state is that our higher education institutions are operating in silos. They don't have much or meaningful interaction with each other. Even we have noticed that even in our state universities, they don't have a mechanism by which they converse. They have a regular conversation with each other. Forget about non-state universities and the state universities. This is not a happy situation. I wanted to break this. I wanted to break this by through this such events, or events where we have a joint conference of vice chancellors of the state and non-state universities. Because the knowledge, we all know, it grows with sharing, with learning, with seeing what others are doing. You know, our ancient scriptures, right in the Vedas, it says, Anu Bhadra Kratavayantu Vishwata. Let the noble ideas, let the new ideas, let the fresh ideas come from all sides. And when we have so many institutions doing so well, each one has something unique about itself. It's okay, some of them could not have made it in the top in their ranking, but every institution has something unique to contribute. And of course, this today being an event to felicitate the achievers and listening to their experience, perhaps we should have many more occasions where the unique achievements of each institution should be shared with others. You know, in our state, when it comes to the spread of education, we have done very well. We know that our gross enrollment ratio is very high. But we know that in today's age, education is not just limited to the 3 R's as it used to be. Just a spread of certain information. Today, education has to be relevant to meet the demand, relevant and capable to meet the needs and demands of the time. Yes, you said that, yes, what about institutions which they have more of humanities, more arts, social sciences? They have a point. But we also know that in today's world, if we have to move forward and do the catching up, which we have to, and we have to do a lot of catching up. When I say we, I'm talking about as a country. There has to be greater emphasis on STEM. That doesn't mean the social sciences are not relevant, they are. But when I get the information that in our country almost 70% of university students are in humanities, it doesn't give me a cause to joy. 70% of students going humanities and arts in higher education institutions, I think it's a change. And of course, the change has to begin from the school itself, where the students have to be encouraged to go for science stream, more and more of them. Somehow our teaching in our schools, our students, when I meet the school students, I find one phobia they have is of mathematics. Perhaps there is a problem with our teachers. Because this subject, mathematics, is not that difficult, is not that scary, except for the fact that it has been made scary, a perception has been created, it is difficult. It's beautiful, it's like a language. It depends on the teacher, what kind of teacher we had. Many of you might have read that book of Hardy, Great Mathematicians, pure mathematician, a mathematician's apology. A small book, and where he says how beautifully describes how it is like language. It's kind of literature, and that is how I found my teacher teaching me mathematics. But when I meet the high school students and they feel scared, the sense of phobia is apparent, then there is a problem with our teaching system. I think it has to be addressed, and without any reservations or any misgiving. While social science remains important, it must remain important. It is, in many ways, it is very, very crucial for shaping the well-being of a holistic well-being of a human being. But the greater emphasis today has to be on STEM discipline. About Tamil University, about their problem of a scopus in our index journals not having Tamil, and that's coming to their disadvantage. It's a very, very valid point. But it's also I think it's also something that should provoke us. Why can't we create? And if it cannot be done by Tamil University, who else will do it? This is such a proud language, such an ancient language. Perhaps we always often feel that it is the most ancient surviving language, with so much of rich literature. If it has not been able to create any such journal, we need to work on it. And while translation is okay, but I do agree with the director IIT that Madras, that translation does not do justice. The richness of Tamil, I'm afraid. European languages don't have the capacity, and I have a strong reservation about it. Richness of Tamil, richness of Sanskrit. They don't have. So instead, while we do translate, and disseminate our knowledge, our wealth, intellectual wealth to the rest of the world, we must have journals in Tamil which should be a scopus indexed. You know, the Prime Minister once said that we have to create our own standards. It is very, very, very long time. In fact, it is again one of the vestiges of colonial days that we have allowed ourselves to be measured by a standard fixed by others. We must create our own standards. And there is no reason why Tamil University cannot create that standard for Tamil language. We all look upon you with expectation that you will be able to do that. And in that, if you need any assistance, we all will be very happy to be part of it. There are not many takeaway lessons from the presentations given by the achievers. I think we need to take them, think over them. You know, one of the points which Director IIT Madras said is about awareness among our faculties. How, you know, Anna University Vice Chancellor Professor Velraj says that 10% of our faculty is the one which is doing. This awareness has to be. Are we doing that? I think awareness comes with the involvement. If our faculties are more and more involved in it, I am sure we'll be able to achieve. One of the points which came was, and which many of the achievers mentioned about, is their strength, alumni strength. They have been tapping into that, they have been harnessing that strength. I think this is one area which we need to look at. Each of our universities have produced a large number of people who are doing very well, those who achieved excellence in life, and they are located in different parts of the world. Do we have an institutionalized system by which they are all connected? Yes, all the universities by and large they have alumni association. But how are they functioning? Just once in a year having a get together, or maybe for silver jubilee or diamond jubilee, or maybe alumni association gives some money for building one structure, one building in the university. That's a minimal involvement. I think alumni are great assets, and we need to appreciate and tap into that. How to make alumni more involved? It should be an institutionalized approach to tapping into alumni's strength to enhance the capacity of the institution. There should be a frequent visitor to the institution, addressing the students, motivating, because nothing motivates more than a successful person, a person who has succeeded and coming from that institution. Their contribution. We have seen that how in the NIRF ranking, teaching, learning and research, they are important. And in research, the importance of seed money. Well, the alumni can chip in that. CSR, which Professor Kamakodi mentioned about, how much we are tapping into that. Many times I think we have a problem of lack of awareness. There are many schemes, many avenues through which one can raise the fund. I'm not talking about University of Madras who is not getting the salary for their staff. That is not. But as for the research and other works, there are today, at least today, there is no dearth of fund. If one is seriously looking for it, ingenuously. So I think we need to tap into our latent resources, latent strength, and this state, which used to be a very intellectually vibrant state, where people from the rest of not only the country but even from across the world used to look with envy. We need to regain our position. Today, I feel sad when I meet the industries across the spectrum, MSME and large industries all. And one of the problems, the first thing that they say about it, the problem that they face in their expansion is lack of adequate human resource. And some of them are blunt enough to say that bulk of our engineers are unemployable. Now this is not again a very happy situation. So when we talk about education today, it cannot be just a mere degree. We all have been talking about it, emphasizing about it, emphasizing over it. But I think we have to take it forward. When we often talk about industry, academia, linkages, and when I talk to the industries and ask them why is it that, and of course I talk to them with respect to state universities, the industries have a point. They say that we will be very happy to take them, but we cannot have guests as visitors coming for a week, coming once a week, or coming for a week or two. That is a burden on us. if a student comes to us for, let us say, a semester for 6 months and willing to work and soil the hand, we'll be happy. We'll be happy even to pay some stipend. So I think university, industries also have a point. When I talk to some of the institutions, some of our people, they say they have a linkages. In what form of linkages? Okay, some of them are having professor of practice, that is good. They should have more. But from the point of view of our students, especially technical students, to take the full advantage of the sound industrial base that our state has, there has to be a greater meaningful linkage between academia and the industry. And today there is a great demand for a skilled workforce, and we have a dearth of it. That situation has to be corrected. And I'm sure we will all be striving towards the better. We all will be doing our best to bridge the gap and make our human resource far more capable, because this is the most precious asset. We should realize that our country is in a historic phase. A new country, a new India is emerging, and all the old style thinking has to go. The new India cannot be growing at the pace at which we were growing. The new India cannot be always in the race of catching up. We try to catch up by the time we move forward. It is what we call it as Zeno's paradox, that you move and things move forward, and you are always in the catching up mode. No, we have to take a quantum leap, and for that quantum leap we have to think innovatively. And some people have thought over it, and they have thought over it and given us a beautiful document, National Education Policy. This is not just one policy, one more policy, perhaps the third in the chronological order, but it is the most transformative, revolutionary policy, which has the capacity to build India, to fulfill its destiny. And in this, we need to, I have met the private universities, and I was quite happy with them that the way they have been implementing this new policy, I was quite happy. I deeply appreciated what they're doing. We have to rise above narrow considerations. We have to think of our responsibility, because we are the custodian of, we are the guardian of millions of our youths, their life. We are shaping them, and the way we shape them, the way that they come out, that reflects our performance. If they come out confidently, if they come out of the university confident to take on the world, to be an asset for the family, for the community, for the state, for the country, then we have achieved it. If they come out and start running around seeking a job here and there, and I find it very sad that an engineering degree holder works for 12,000, 14,000 rupees. A job which is not actually his job. It actually undermines that person's dignity, the sense of self-respect. And a community, a people with debilitated sense of self-respect cannot be an asset. We have a great responsibility. We should be aware of it. Friends, this meeting together, all of us, this day, this event we will continue year after year. We have made the beginning last year, but we will continue it. It gives us an opportunity to meet, to share, to learn, and also to network. Today, Professor Kamakoti has given the offering that he is willing to reach out if we approach him for solutions. The fact that this institution has been able to retain the #1 position in the country for the last so many years, it would not have just happened by chance or by luck. It shows a strength that the institution has, inherent strength that the institution has created for itself. And it's how it has been able to harness the strength, the latent and potential strength of its faculty, its students, and how it has been innovative, coming up with new ideas. We have something here in the midst of us which we can draw. I would urge the universities to make full use of it. Similarly, there are other achievers here, those who have done so well. Please remain connected, and I am sure we will be able to create an ecosystem for higher education in our state, which will restore us our glory, and which will also help us making our state an intellectual capital, once again the intellectual capital of our country. I wish all of you the very best. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We now request the Deputy Secretary to the Honorable Governor, University, to propose the words of thanks.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். It's my honor and privilege to express vote of thanks on this inspirational event, the Conclave of Excellence of Higher Education in Tamil Nadu. I extend my heartiest gratitude to our Honorable Governor and Chancellor of State Universities for presided over the conclave and felicitated the NIR of top-ranking institutions of Tamil Nadu. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to extend my heartiest congratulations to all the higher education institutions and the universities, including the state universities of Tamil Nadu, for bagging the top rankings in 13 categories of NIR rankings. I wish our Honorable Governor, sir, will felicitate more number of institutions of Tamil Nadu in the next year conclave. I convey our profound thanks to the Director IIT Madras, NIT Trichy, the Chancellors, the Vice Chancellors of private universities, and the Vice Chancellors of state universities, Directors, Principals, and faculty members of NIR of top-ranked institutions, faculties of state universities for gracing this significant conclave. I express my sincere thanks to our Principal Secretary to Governor for the directions and guidance for organizing this event. I also thank the academicians, dignitaries, and all the invitees for gracing this occasion. I thank the media fraternity, especially the officials and staff of Rajbhavan for their support. ஆளுநர் மாளிகையின் சார்பாக அனைவருக்கும் எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to raise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Dear dignitaries, this is a group photo session. Now we request the head and the core team of the NIRF